Well, hi friends, Jeff here. It's about 4:15 p.m. here in the Eastern Time Zone, so it's time for us to kick off today's STLP Quick Shot. Today we're going to be talking about STLP 101 and really focusing in on some info for new coaches. Always one of our biggest quick shots that we like to jump into with folks. And so just a quick reminder, as you are diving in with us today, look for the Q&A button. It's the little speech bubbles with a question mark. If you have a question that you want to make sure that we hit today, drop it in there and we will make sure that everything gets covered. As usual, this is an STLP quick shot, so we are going to work to get through this topic and answer your questions in approximately 20 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer here on my iPad, and 20 minutes is going to start right now. Okay, so first of all, if you are a new STLP coach, thanks for jumping in to provide this opportunity for your students at your school, within your district. If you are a veteran STLP coach joining us today, hoping to get some pointers or some updates for the day, welcome everyone. We've got a lot to cover. If I haven't met you yet, I'd like to do that one day. Hopefully we'll get to meet at STLP State Championship in Lexington in April. But my name's Jeff. I have the best job in Kentucky because I get to lead this little STLP program and help support you as you are providing these opportunities for students. Here's a little rundown of what we're going to talk about. We're going to hit what STLP is, what your role as the coach/coordinator can be, highlight what those big three events are, and then talk about where you should get your stuff and what you should be thinking about doing next for this year. So we'll start with the basics. And forgive me, we're going super basic. We're starting with, what is STLP? What is STLP Kentucky? It is the Student Technology Leadership Program. And if you are looking for additional details, if you want to really dig into the history of this program that's been around for nearly 30 years, jump out and always take advantage of our website, which you can reach at the handy web address of stlp.rocks. Or, of course, you can go to stlp.education.ky.gov. There you're going to find most of the resources that I mentioned today, and you're also going to be able to dive into some of the materials that have been created over the years to help introduce STLP to new folks, to schools, to students, but most importantly to STLP coaches, particularly under the Get Started section on our website. But really, what is STLP? STLP is about students using technology to demonstrate learning, to create new and exciting digital products, and to really take advantage of the educational technology that you and your school district are providing them to show what they know, to show what they're excited about, and to connect with other students around the state who share that enthusiasm and excitement. But today we're going to talk about your role as a coordinator, and I would be remiss if I didn't stop and give a major shout out to two digital learning coaches from Fayette County Schools, Kelly Fisher and Emily Ty, who developed the presentation that I'm sharing with you today, because here's why I'm sharing it. I started making a fresh one and I thought theirs is perfect. And with their permission, I'm sharing that with you because it really covers the basis for what you need to think about as a new coordinator. In particular, your role is pretty straightforward. You are a facilitator and a guide for students who are making digital products and developing projects to utilize digital tools. Okay, super great. You're also going to be the point of contact for your school regarding STLP related things. So from me, I will communicate with you and let you know about opportunities that exist for your students. Your task will be to find the students and get them involved. One of your biggest tasks will be completing registrations by the deadline. We have one coming up on November 1st for our regional event that will be happening next month. But bottom line is your task is simply to make sure as many students as possible, as many students who are as interested in STLP related events can participate in those events. We will keep providing you with resources to help those students get into these areas of competition or to utilize these resources in your classroom. The thing to keep in mind is you don't have to be the expert in what the students are interested in. You simply need to be the facilitator to help make sure they get their opportunity in the spotlight and their opportunity to share their enthusiasm for their product or project with everyone through an STLP event. But you have to keep in mind from the get-go, like starting right now, think about STLP not as a group of students that get together once a week after school, but think of STLP as your whole school. Everyone in your school can take advantage of these resources, of these competitions. Now, we recognize and know that as the STLP coach for your school, you may need a manageable group for, say, a project that you do meet with after school, or maybe you meet during class time and it is a specific group of students. But today you're going to see how students across your school can get involved with STLP and how it can really enrich your entire school community by giving opportunities for all students to shine. Don't think about it as a club, as much of a school culture. That is where we see the greatest return on investment for STLP in schools. Groups that don't think about it as just, someone that gets a stipend and I meet with 4 or 5 handpicked kids after school once a week. That's a great way to get started. But eventually what you'll find is if you can embrace the concepts of STLP across the school, you're going to realize that probably number one, you're already doing a lot of the stuff that we offer through STLP in different classrooms, but two, it opens up other educators in your building to realize that what they're doing with students utilizing technology also has a place in STLP. And eventually you might find yourself as more of the coordinator who's helping pull all these STLP digital products that are getting created and project ideas into STLP competitions, or you may end up finding yourself being the person who is helping other teachers and other students in the building connect with these academic standards-based resources that we utilize in STLP. So yeah, you're going to wear lots of different hats. Okay, so you're going to be everything from the person who is advocating for STLP with your administration. You'll be the communicator who's letting folks know about opportunities. You're going to be the organizer who's helping make sure students have everything they need to be successful. You're going to be the cheerleader who is getting folks excited about STLP competitions. You're going to be the chaperone, hopefully at our STLP state championship in April. And you're also going to be the collector of these digital artifacts of what students are creating so that they can take advantage of STLP. So I love this example that Emily and Kelly came up with. How you're a lot like Santa Claus, okay? Santa doesn't have to make the toys, he just organizes and delivers them. Likewise, you don't have to make the projects, you're just organizing and delivering the student work to STLP. Santa's the face of Christmas culture, and you're the face of STLP culture. And in reality, Santa probably does the least amount of work. Same should be said for the STLP coordinator. It shouldn't be you finding, making sure that every single thing is done and building things and creating things. That's the work of the students. And once you see an STLP event in person or participate in one, you'll recognize that really this is all student led. STLP is really that L, Student Technology Leadership. That leadership portion of STLP really has a big part in what we do. And given the opportunity, students really step up and thrive in the activities that are part of STLP. So we've got sort of 3 big yearly events. This is where it gets down to it. So what are the big things that we do with STLP? So the big events occur at regionals in the fall, DPOJ, which is digital product online judging, which sort of kicks off, it reaches ahead in January. And then our STLP state championship is in April. Those are the 3 big events. And the big thing that you can get out of it is that, you know, all of the things that we do for those events are probably things that are happening in your school now. Like you are probably have somebody who's working on digital art for some assignment somewhere in the building. That's a DPOJ entry, and realizing that you can capture that and utilize that and elevate that on behalf of the student so that they can participate in STLP. It's huge. It's a big deal. So what are those things, right? What are the things right here that Kramer, right? So what are the things that realizing, so Kelly Bockham, you know, when she made this tweet, the moment you realize there are at least 3 things that are normal assignments or STLP things in your classroom. So what are those things, okay? As we mentioned, those big 3, regionals, DPOJ, and state. If we look at regionals, let's hone in on that for just a second. Regionals is kind of, we're right in the middle of regional season. It's kicking off in November. Our regionals event will occur, and regionals are where students give an elevator pitch for a project that they are working on for the year. The idea behind this is that this time of year, students are going through the process of identifying and investigating project ideas that they'll be able to help their school, their community through the use of technology, integration, through the use of developing new technologies, through the use of using technologies to help others learn. And that project, which is broad and can be really open to any idea that you and your students have, comes to a head at our regionals event in this year. It'll be actually November 16th, when students will jump online, and as a team, they'll be able to give an elevator pitch about their idea to judges live, synchronously online using a video conferencing tool. We haven't decided what that'll be yet, but right now what students are doing is they're just coming up with the idea of their project. And maybe they've started to launch it, maybe they've got a few things under their belt, but knowing that at this first of the big 3 events, regionals, what they're doing is just trying to convince judges that their project idea is strong enough, thought out enough, organized enough that they should continue working on it and then bring it to the state championship for the next level of judging when it's more of a completed project in April. So regionals is a kickoff point for the year, and knowing that projects are just one of the ways that you can get involved with STLP. If you don't have students organized yet, you're not ready to jump into project-based learning for the year, and you just want to see what this is all about, that's great. If you are ready to jump in and say, okay, yeah, we've got some ideas for a student developed project, great. You've got plenty of time. Registration is open now until the end of the month. It closes November 1st. And then on November 16th, we'll get online and kids will give their pitch. Judges will give them feedback on how they did with their presentation. It's not about a big practiced, rehearsed, perfect presentation at this point. Like I say, it is really just about sharing a project idea with judges. And that is a way to kick off their project for the remainder of the year. Now, if we keep looking here, let me jump ahead. There we go. Our second of the big 3 events is DPOJ. You're going to hear about that a lot. Now, separate from projects, separate from regionals, DPOJ is a completely different event that you will find can really incorporate lots of different students around your school. This is where they take original student-created digital products. So we're talking about digital art, digital photography, digital videos, animation, digital storytelling, things where students are creating using the tools available to them based on a list of categories, and I'm going to show you where to get to those. Essentially, they turn in a link to you, and you submit that link as part of a DPOJ registration by January 18th, and your students could their entries could be named a state champion come April. And the beauty of the DPOJ is it's digital products and it's online judging. So you don't have to leave the building. And what a great time to take advantage of that. STLP is my whole school. Look around the entire school for digital products that your school can enter. And our last of the big three events is STLP State Championship. Now, this is a special day. Last year, we had approximately 14,000 folks come together to celebrate students using technology to learn at Rupp Arena in Lexington. This year, looking ahead, it'll be April 19th, 2023. You can come, there's different pathways, whether your project team from regionals advances on to the next stage and comes to present at state, or your DPOJ entries, that other of the big three, maybe they become semifinalists, and our finalists get rewarded on stage and get trophies and good stuff. Or you could come to the STLP State Championship and participate in one of the live challenges. We have events throughout the day that there's no pre-qualifying round. You just sign up and show up and participate in an activity, a competition that day at state. Or really the fourth way to come to state is you can come and just be a participant. There's so much happening at state, so many hands-on activities, events, part of the STLP experience, learning about how others, where students are doing their project presentations, where you can see the digital products from DPOJ. It's just a giant celebration. We take over all of Rupp Arena and Central Bank Center in downtown Lexington. It is a sight to behold, and I recommend if you aren't participating in anything, if you can get students to come to Lexington that day, I would start planning now to get some kids there. At the very least, get yourself there, bring an administrator, your principal, try and get a superintendent. When folks can see what students are doing with STLP at the state championship, there's always support that comes with that. Those are the big three events. Like I said, right now we are in the middle of regionals and getting ready for regionals for that project cycle. Now, let me show you where you can get resources to help support that. Like, where's all the stuff that you need? So I already mentioned the website. You definitely want to start there. If you get to it, you're going to recognize there's a lot of stuff there. So what we've done is using the menu across the top, we've broken it down and you'll see some themes there: regionals, projects, DPOJ, and state. We've laid out all of the resources on the website to help you navigate where your school is at in the STLP year. Oh, and I got to share one more thing. So before we get to the end of our 20 minutes, I got to share a couple things. Number one, here's what you could be doing right now. If you haven't yet, go out and get recognized. There's a form at stlpeducation.ky.gov/recognized, or follow the links on the website, and just let us know you're out there. Let us know that you're participating. Let us know that you've got a group officially for your school. It's not a guarantee that you're planning to participate in competitions or anything. It just says, hey, we're here. That makes sure that I get you communications to let you know about what's going on with STLP. Take advantage of our level up badges. There's a whole system, STLP level up, where you can go out and your students can earn badges while they explore different aspects of STLP. There are dozens and dozens, I think over 100 different badges your teams can earn. It's for fun. You don't have to demonstrate anything special. You don't have to submit any special qualifications to earn the badges, but you can, as an STLP coach, utilize the Level Up program to formulate a plan for how you're going to explore STLP. The way that the activities are set up in there, they take you through all different aspects of STLP and things that are technology related for your school. And they're fun, but also for us on the flip side, it's a really cool sort of guidebook to get you launched into STLP. So you can get to that by going to the website /levelup or follow the links there. The big thing I really got to share with you, okay, with the last minute that we have. If you haven't yet, go out and check out the STLP Super Sheet. What it does is it takes all of the resources that are spread out throughout the STLP website and condenses it into one long list based on those STLP Big 3 events, regionals, DPOJ, state, and then another section just for resources that you might use throughout the year. Level up, get recognized. Each line on the sheet has an access to the rubrics that go with every activity that you can utilize whether you participate in competitions or don't participate in competitions. We would love to see what you have available there at your school to participate with STLP, things you can submit, things you can enter. It's all Google shared through Google. It's open to anyone who has the link. Your students can explore this with you, look at rubrics and see what they need to do, what they need to know, which was a fine point that I'm going to try and make here at the end, is that all of these activities come with a rubric that is Kentucky Academic Standards for Technology based, has links to resources, and has links to sample work from other students from previous years. So if you find yourself having no idea what digital storytelling is about, take advantage of that rubric. It has resources for you as the teacher. It also has resources for students aimed at them. This is years in the making, and everything on here is, I will essentially say, peer reviewed, because it's created by educators in the field who have sponsored these different competition areas. It's been refined over the years, so it is something that is a gold mine. Now, it seems like a lot, but as long as you comprehend those big 3 events, regionals, DPOJ, and state, you got a good starting point. Now, okay, we've wrapped up. That's our 20 minutes. Went slightly over, but it's worth it. Right now, what you could be doing, again, get recognized, go and explore the project toolkit. Look under the regional section on the STLP Super Sheet. Look for the project toolkit. It takes you step by step through the project cycle. Like everything else, it's got the rubrics for what judges will be looking for at regionals. So there's no secrets. Everybody knows exactly what judges will be asking for. And so the one question, we do have a couple questions. I think I've hit all of the questions that were asked, but one, if you can't stick around for the end of this, or you want to reference back to this video, like all the other quick shots, we publish them on our YouTube channel, the STLP Kentucky YouTube channel, and we'll post a link to the video on the quick shots page. So you can go back and reference this at any point, along with all of the other quick shots that we've done up to this year, including a deep dive into projects and the project toolkit. Next week, I think we have a deep dive into DPOJ categories, and a week after that, there'll be some info about STLP state. So if you're intrigued about any of those, come back and join us, and we will make sure you get all the questions that you have answered, and make sure you're on your way to a very successful year with STLP. Okay, thanks for being here. I promised you 20 minutes. Hopefully you got some great stuff out of this. You can always contact me. You do know that we're here for you between the website, between me and the quick shots. Hopefully we'll have everything you need to have a super successful year with STLP. Thanks for joining us. See you the next one.